Well, good morning, or I guess good afternoon. I'm sitting over here in Tyler, Texas at the Target Distribution Center waiting on them to empty out my trailer. And I just got through watching an interview with Nigel Farage, which, if many of you know him, he is the guy that got the Brexit business started and made that successful. Fought a very long, hard fight over that. He is in the country right now, so he's about ready to leave, but he's been traveling and touring and giving his speeches. He just made a comment or an observation at the border that you're not hearing on the news. And it disturbed me because, number one, it reminded me of a scene from a movie that we all saw back in the 80s about the Russians when they attacked. I can't remember the name of the movie right this second. But we've got folks coming across our border, and they've already caught, guys on terrorist watch lists, Iranians, Chinese, Pakistanis. What are they doing coming in from Mexico? Folks, I think we're being set up, and this isn't a good thing. So anyway, watch this clip with Nigel, then I'm going to play the clip of that movie.
Now go to Nigel Farage, and I got to tee this up. I've had the honor of knowing Nigel Farage for many years, and a couple of those years were dark years when it looked like his crusade and his mission to basically get the sovereignty back to the people in the United Kingdom by Brexit was many dark days there. So I knew Nigel in the good days. I knew him in the days that were not so good. And this guy's a fighter. Nigel, you've come to this country with Freedom Works with this tour to kind of give almost a pep talk to the American people. But while you were here, you found out something very important about our sovereignty and what's happening in this country. And it took, I think, an outside perspective to do it because even I think we're too close to it sometimes. Walk us through what this problem is on the southern border and how you think it's taking us in a direction that we will lose our sovereignty, sir.
Well, obviously, a nation state must control its borders and decide who can come into its country, or it's not a proper, fully functioning nation state. And the impact of this, particularly in 2015, when 1.5 million people crossed over the Mediterranean, Mrs. Merkel said, "You're all welcome." It had a dramatic impact on many European cities like Malmo, which became unrecognizable in many ways, and it fed in a big way to the Brexit vote. Now, obviously, the American border, and I've been here for 6 weeks now, so I've watched a lot of cable TV in hotel rooms, and I see the migrant crisis, and it's personified by young children being dropped over the wall, women, groups being rounded up, and large numbers being resettled all over the country, so much so that every state now becomes, or even every town now becomes, a border town. That part of the story, Steve, we know, and that part of the story is being talked about. Let me tell you what's not being talked about. I thought, well, as I'm here, I was in Arizona, let's go down to the border and have a look. And I went down into Pinal County with the magnificent Sheriff Mark Lamb. And what I saw was something genuinely shocking. These are not people who are coming into America looking for free accommodation, looking for benefits, looking to be given a new start in life and perhaps even citizenship, even though most would never ever qualify as refugees. No. These people are coming in to Pinal County through an Indian reservation where there is no wall at all. They are tracking, Steve, 60 miles across the harsh Arizona desert. They're dressed in full camouflage kit with camouflage rucksacks. They wear overslippers that make no noise and leave no trace in the desert. They're paying up to $8,000 each to get in. They do not want to be caught by the authorities. They hide by day. They march by night until they get to main roads and farms, Interstate 8 and a series of dairy farms. And what I saw were huge amounts of discarded camouflage kit. This is a full military operation. It's 100% all young men of fighting age. I mean, you've got to be fit and strong to make that journey. And once they get to the dairy farms or they get to the Interstate 8, they then discard the military uniform for civilian clothes. They are picked up by criminal gangs and taken off into the drugs gangs that are ruining the lives of millions of people already living in American cities. Literally, America is allowing the import of thousands of dangerous criminals. They're coming in numbers that are simply beyond control. It is a criminal operation from start to finish. And I just don't think this story, frankly, has been told here in the way that it needs to be. However bad you thought the border crisis was, what I saw 2 days ago was even worse.
Yeah, that's right. Field traders came up illegal from Mexico. Cubans mostly. They managed to infiltrate SAC bases in the Midwest, several down in Texas, and wreaked a hell of a lot of havoc. I'm here to tell you. They opened up the door down here. And the whole Cuban and Nicaraguan armies come walking right through, roll right up here through the Great Plains.
Red Dawn, that was the name of the movie, Patrick Swayze. Anyway, that's something to think about. Folks, it's not good. Not good at all. Carry on.